The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
We also obtained historic data covering all the previous work on the project, which was done by, guess who? Gold Fields and Newmont, among others. So obviously somebody else has figured out this was a good area before. They had a look at it, and now it's our turn. So we've acquired this data, expanded the claim footprint, and we hope to begin work there later this spring.
All right, welcome back inside our Proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Mike Power. He is the CEO of Silverrangeresources. And Mike, great to see you again. How are you?
Great. Nice to see you, Steve.
Yeah, so the company out with news today, giving us an update on the Drum project, and you've been able to increase the footprint of this particular project. And I know this has been a kind of a really interesting one for you. Why don't you take us back to sort of the beginnings and talk to us a bit about how you tackled this one?
Right. So this, we decided to try and look at things from the big picture, and all the rage amongst the major companies is this mineral systems theory, where if you're going to find a really large gold deposit, you got to step back and find where do these things hang out, and they tend to occur over in areas where the upper mantle has been enriched in gold by partial melting and then tapped by some deep through-going structures. Now, how do you find these areas? Well, there's fortunately a technique called seismic tomography, where earthquakes are recorded around a huge area, and then they're interpreted to yield a picture of what the velocity structure looks like underneath an area. And low velocity, low primary VP is where you find these structures and in these gold enriched areas. And what we did was we took a bunch of these seismic tomography models and we laid them one over on the other, because any one of them can yield different results. And we tried to look for things that were in common. And what we found was, aside from the major districts, which are stake solid, and so what, we're finding what everybody else knows, we found an area out in central Utah where there was an interesting third order seismic tomography anomaly that was defined by a bunch of overlapping different models. They all said there's something here. And we said, well, let's look at that. So we did a little research, and lo and behold, there are a whole bunch of little gold occurrences out there, and actually a small mine, the old Detroit mine. So we said, well, this is an area we should really look at because it seems to have like big picture potential. So last September, we staked the Drum claims, and we recently expanded it up to 37 claims. And we also obtained historic data covering all the previous work on the project, which was done by, guess who? Gold Fields and Newmont, among others. So obviously somebody else has figured out this was a good area before. They had a look at it, and now it's our turn. So we've acquired this data, expanded the claim footprint, and we hope to begin work there later this spring.
Mike, I would imagine that acquiring the data set alone probably saved the company millions of dollars in the work that was done there, because I think there was geochemical, geophysical, drilling information. I mean, there was a lot in that data set.
That's right. You know, we all stand on each other's shoulders in the exploration business, and we'd like to. It's a great time when you can start work and not have to reinvent the wheel, and you can basically profit from other people's experience there. So we're looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, and so you'll do a lot more work ahead here, sort of doing some more prospecting, things like that on this site?
Well, first we got to compile all this data, and then, some careful mapping and prospecting to see if we can have another look at this and maybe figure out something that has been missed before.
Okay. Well, I got you. You know, we're coming out of the sort of the winter season, heading into, we're in spring now and into summer. So I would imagine there's lots of stuff happening around the company.
Yeah, we had a bit of a slow winter, but we're trying to make up for it right now. We've got a big mapping project going on out at our East Goldfield project. We're going to follow that up by completing our shallow drilling program. We did some soil sampling at Alamo in Arizona in December, and it's taken 4 months to get the results, but I've been assured by the lab they're coming this week, and we've mobilized a geophysics crew to go out and complete geophysics surveys over this grid as well. So things are happening out at Alamo, and we'll have some new results out from Sniper. We did some work there. That's down near Gold Point, and and then more stuff to follow. So we're back in the saddle, or back in the field, and it sure feels great.
All right. Well, we look forward to more conversations ahead then. Mike, thanks so much. Great to see you again, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks very much, Steve. So long.
All right, Mike Power, the CEO of Silver Range Resources.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.